Are you ready to do the make or break draft team? I'm wondering. I think there's one answer for this, but we'll see if we have the same one. So I'm going to hear yours. You said you have one or two.
I got two. I got a hard time with these two, man. And I can even sprinkle a third honorable mention in. But for me, it's the Jets, dude. They got so many early picks. They struggled so much last year. They got a defensive-minded head coach that doesn't look like he had a good defense. Traded away some key pieces. And if they do not bounce back and make good picks with what they acquired from Sauce Gardner and from Quinnen Williams, they wasted those trades and they're fucking up and they're going to be a dumpster fire. And I think the Jets have to hit.
They're going to continue to be a dumpster fire.
You don't move Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams to get worse. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. So Gino, oh great, you went from the worst team to the second worst team. Congrats, but they got to do something, brother. The Jets are the one to me with. I'm off the top of my head, and I'm struggling. I apologize. I don't got notes tonight. The 6 picks in the top 100.
Yeah, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third, maybe 2 thirds. They have a fuckload. Because they've been so bad for so long, but it's the continued garbage that they're gonna go if they fuck this draft up, like you said, because they have so much capital and the guys they traded. Which I love all the trades they made, but that's incumbent on them actually hitting on these picks. But how Groundhog's Day, when the groundhog, I don't know how it works, but when the groundhog sees a shadow, it's like another 6 weeks of winter. Mm-hmm. It's like one of these things where if they fuck up this draft, it's another 6 years of being the Jets, right? Absolutely. Where they have an opportunity right now to turn it around and not be relevant this year, maybe 6-7 wins, but build something, which they haven't been building anything. They were bad and the Zach Wilson thing happened. And then they tried to make a Band-Aid with Aaron Rodgers. And it went from bad to worse. And I feel like they kind of bottomed out. And now they hire Aaron Glenn, who's passing out at the fucking combine. Optics are bad, records bad, rosters bad. Although I think they have some good pieces. That's interesting you went them because I was thinking about how to go about this. Do I go with a team that's on the verge of winning a Super Bowl or a team that's in the contention, or to go with a bottom feeder?
My other team's a contender. I went from one bottom feeder and one contender.
Okay, so I'm going to give you mine. Blake kind of spoiled it in the chat here because we think alike. Blake, shout out Blake, media manager in the channel. We love you, Blake. Mine's the Cowboys because they're a team that's kind of, they have high expectations every year because they're the Cowboys. And they also have Dak Prescott, who's an elite quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. He has 1 playoff win, which is insane. It's similar to Tony Romo. Tony Romo was great. Maybe not all-time great, but could and borderline Hall of Famer if things had gone well. And Dak's 32 years old, and he's very good, and he has 1 playoff win. They have 2 first-round picks. The Parsons trade, they can make the Parsons trade work if they make this draft work. And I feel like they're a couple pieces away. Also, that division is in shambles. The Eagles have a lot of stuff going on internally beyond just the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts thing. Also have the Jalen Hurts noise about him being uncoachable. I don't know if you read that article. There's the fans are insane. Nick Sirianni's a terrible coach, but he won a Super Bowl. And how soon is too soon to fire a guy after they win a Super Bowl? I think he should have been fired last year because anyone could have won a Super Bowl with that team. I could have coached a team to a Super Bowl, okay? As much as I don't even like Jalen Hurts, that team was fucking stacked.
How many teams in the NFL right now would take Sirianni over the head coach they have?
6.
If that, dude. Yeah.
That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always said that when people rip on Matt LaFleur and they're like, Packers should get rid of Matt LaFleur. I'm like, Matt LaFleur would get hired by 27 teams right now. They would fire the guy. All but 6 teams would fire, 5 or 6 teams would fire their coach. Sirianni, it's okay, the Jets, and the Jets. You know what I mean? It's.
I saw a guy ask Richard Sherman if Shanahan misses the playoffs this year, is he on the hot seat? And Sherman's like, no, dude, are you stupid? He's still on an iceberg. 20 to 25 teams would all absolutely fire their current head coach for a shot at Shanahan right now. He won't be on the hot seat if he misses the playoffs this year.
Even if Shanahan was a bad head coach, when I just mentioned just head coach for the operation stuff, right? Which he's not. I think he's above average. I think that's not one of his strengths, but he's still an above average head coach. He's a top 3 offensive mind, if not the best offensive mind. It's him and Sean McVay, Andy Reid. So like,
but
I don't care if he was Aaron Glenn as a head coach. He offers something to your franchise because he turns water into wine. Like he makes Brock Purdy. You've seen him win games with fucking Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl. End of story. That's Jimmy Garoppolo is not even the Hall of Very Good. Jimmy Garoppolo is the Hall of Very Average. And he went to a Super Bowl. They almost won a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know. That's crazy, man. To come back full circle, though, to your comment, Dallas is a team I wanted to bet the over on strictly because of their offense. I like the fact that they had a chance to, I think, go over, what was it, 8.5 games they were at on DraftKings? And I think it's possible just with that offense. Now, if you have a good draft and you stack that defense, they're sneaky good. John Harbaugh in his first year with the Giants with some injury-prone guys, I don't know. Philly's turning into a dumpster fire, which they deserve because their fans can eat big bags of dicks. And
the Commanders, they're 7.5 right now, right? And like they have done nothing since that year. Jaden Daniels' magical rookie year, they've only gotten worse. And
it's like CJ Stroud's magical rookie year, right? Is it not? Are we not on the same trajectory as CJ Stroud?
Exactly. But the Dan Quinn, you got to have your head on backwards, Nico. When we talk Dan Quinn here, has mismanaged players with injuries. I don't think he's a very good head coach, and I don't know if he's really that good of a defensive coordinator anymore. But that defense is old. They don't have the thing is the Washington has no draft capital. They have a first rounder and a third rounder. They don't have a second rounder or a fourth rounder. Now they do have the 7th pick, but like their roster's barren. They have one receiver. Like, okay, they're banking on getting Brandon Ayuk. Like, Nico, you're a Niners fan. Like, that's not exactly like he's not a saving grace. And there's a big risk there in terms of relying on Brandon Ayuk to be available and be bought in. And like Jaden Daniels, I still believe in Jaden Daniels, but the NFL and these teams are too deep for Jaden Daniels to do what he did his rookie year. I don't know how. Yeah. I still don't know how that happened. I don't know how he went to an NFC Championship game.
Commanders need to move back, dude. They need to move back and get more picks. Is the only way. Brandon Ayuk will get moved after the June 1st date when his money can get split up between the 2 years, and go play with his buddy Jaden. And good luck, dude. All the more power to you. But I don't see the Commanders doing much this year.
Yeah, so the division, like I said, is wide open, and the offense. And you said if they get a couple defensive players, but you know what? Maybe they go 1-1. They reinforce that offense and make it. If they get another blue chip player on offense, whether that's an elite offensive lineman that falls, whether they trade down and get an offensive lineman, or they maybe, I don't think they need receiver, obviously, but just maybe they get Sadiq. Like, I'm not a Sadiq guy. I'm just saying there's a lot of avenues that like they could make this offense from great to elite, like best in the league, them and the Rams. 99 fucking Ram style.
I love Sadiq, and I am terrified that the Rams are going to get him at 13. I think he's going to be a massive.
He's a project. Yeah, but he's a project, so I wouldn't worry about that for the Rams.
Yeah, he's not a Rams. He's Vernon Davis, bro. Look at his.
He will be. He might be in 2029. You know what I mean? Like not for this year. Like he's not a. He'd be great with like Miami. You know, with a team that has a year or two to develop him. He needs to be developed. Thing with Sadiq. Anyways. Cowboys for me, make or break draft. Like make or break draft. Shout out to Mouse South in the chat.
Welcome to the chat, sir. The other one for me was the Chiefs, bro. And you touched on that earlier with Andy Reid not having very good drafts. They don't ever draft good receivers. They got an AJ out Kelsey. They got Mahomes that's can't do it all, man. Like he can't win it by himself. They traded away some good defensive players and then lost a couple pieces there. And they've got a pretty decent amount of picks coming in this year, pretty fairly high pick as far as I think Reed, the only time he's ever picked this high is when he took Eric Fisher and Patrick Mahomes, man, back in 17. So they're picking way higher than normal. And if he hits, it's dangerous. But if he misses again, like Chiefs are getting sketchy, bro, especially in that division. With a solid-ass Broncos team, and then the Chargers and Harbaugh bringing things up there with Herbert. Raiders, not a threat this year, but Kansas City doesn't have a good draft. They're going to be in trouble.
Well, let's look at their weapons. Now, I do love Kenneth Walker, but he's a running back. Look at their weapons. Rashee Rice, so much off-the-field shit, injuries as well with the ACL a couple years ago, and they're probably not going to sign him. They're not going to re-sign. Like, there's too much of a headache, and there's just been too much shit with Rashee Rice. And I feel like he's more of a product of the Chiefs in that role. It's almost kind of like a Puka Nacua Cooper Kupp role that's just super successful, and he's a fine player. But like, do you want to invest in a guy that's a knucklehead? Xavier Worthy is all but a bust at this point. Like, I'm not saying it's over for him, but like, it's close to over, and it's not going to be the guy we were sold coming out.
It's not going to work in KC. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that. It might work somewhere else because he's young enough, but it ain't going to work there.
It's a low chance. I'm not totally giving up on the kid, but like, for a first round draft pick, like he's most likely a bust. And then Travis Kelce is a shell of his former self, and he has 1 year left. So like, where are you left in the future at offense besides Kenneth Walker and Patrick Mahomes? And you also have a substandard offensive line. So like, you need to hit on both these picks. You also have no secondary. Like, so there's so many holes in this Chiefs team, and like, they had a breaking point last year of all the close wins. They won all of them, and you could say it was the officials. You could say it was Mahomes and Andy Reid. It was probably a combination of all those things, and that stopped happening. Now you have a deficit of talent. The talent's not there on both sides of the ball.
They need to draft offensive talent and outscore the other team, man. They got to start throwing 40 burgers around. Like, that's their only hope. You can't improve both sides.
And Chris Jones, like, is their best defensive player. I never thought Chris Jones was that great, and there was the play I always go back to.
Interested in football at this point too, if I'm being honest.
Do you remember the Trevor Lawrence scramble to win that game when he gave up, and he's just sitting there because Trevor Lawrence fell down, and then he's like, oh, he's not going to get the edge, and then like, if he had just engaged in that play and had a motor, like, you know, any player, a Bosa maybe, any legit defensive player, he's not scoring in that play. Or at least he's going to get severely punished for scoring on that play.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's Chris Jones for you. He's always fucking jumping off sides. Like, those are crazy things. Like, he's making too many negative plays. And like the positive plays, the splash plays, the TJ Watt plays, for instance, aren't there anymore for Chris Jones. So like, he's also a guy that's pretty fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't seem like the guy's going to age gracefully. So like, you have 1 or 2 years left of Chris Jones being, if you even want to call him elite anymore. So like, there's just no talent on that team anymore.
I mean, dude, was it Chris Jones? You got Dexter Lawrence looking for a new team. You got the Niners brought Osa in from Dallas. Like, there's impact defensive tackles that become available. You don't need to just lean on and continue to overpay the one that you've had for a long time.
Man, with the conversation we just had, like, the fact that the Chiefs are the third favorite to win the Super Bowl,
bullshit.
And like, even if Mahomes didn't tear his ACL, that would be pretty wild.
I like the under.
Like, we don't know if he's playing week 1. The fact they signed Justin Fields, which I think Justin Fields could win you. He can go 3-1 possibly. I do believe that, just because Andy Reid is that level of tactician on offense.
And you saw Fields win in Pittsburgh. Yeah, you saw him be competitive in New York with a sleepy Glenn.
But that's not like a ringing endorsement on the third best team to win the Super Bowl. You know what? Justin Fields can like keep the ship afloat. Like, that, there's a lot of question marks that they're just like Chiefs, because they know people are going to fucking bet it, and it has been a good bet. You know, at least to win the AFC has been a good bet in recent history. But that division's also wildly improved. I mean, also it was awesome last year, but it's a good division. You're out of that division.
Chiefs can eat a bag of D's. Phillies fans can eat a bag of D's. That
division though is tough.
I want to start a new segment called "Eat a Bag of D's" with Nick O, and it's the team of the week that I want to be like, they can eat a bag of D's.
I like it. You can say dicks in this program. You can say fuck. You can say piss. You can say shit.
Oh, I know. And that's you know how I'm wired, bro.
Jeffrey says, I think the Chiefs need to talk Justin Fields on into moving to receiver. It's too late in his career for that.
Replace Kelce. That's your best bet.
No, dude. He's not big enough. Like, the only way this would work, if you're talking about moving him, is a Taysom Hill level gadget guy, right? That's the only way it works. Like, that could make sense, because
what about
he is like a Taysom Hill, but he's a way better quarterback than Taysom Hill ever was. Like, he has a way better arm.
What about the Arkansas quarterback?
Taylon Green.
Yeah, dude, freak ass athlete, right? Bring him in and make him run some of that shit.
So this is an interesting call, and a good point here by Jeffrey. Terrell Pryor did it later in his career. He had some decent years with the Raiders, but Terrell Pryor was like 6'5". You know what I'm saying? So like, that plays at wide receiver. Like, Justin Fields is 6'2". And I'm not saying 6'2" is small. I'm saying you got to deal with all the raw stuff, that he's going to be raw at the position. And
yeah,
he's not like
Steve Smith, you need to be 6'2", bro.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, Pryor was a freak. Like as a wide receiver, he's a freaky prospect because he's 6'5" and had 4.4 speed. Like Justin Fields is just another 6'2" guy that has 4.4 speed. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference there. 6'5", 4.4 speed at 210, 215 pounds is rare air in the NFL. Justin Fields, yes, he's an elite athlete at quarterback and a pretty elite athlete in general. As a wide receiver, he's a pretty regular athlete. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to blow the socks off anybody, man. And he hasn't been running routes his whole life. Like, he's going to get jammed up, dude. It'd never work.
I think running back makes more sense than wide receiver, right? Like, but he would get hurt, dude. He would get hurt. These guys, like running backs, are built differently. We don't understand like how thick these motherfuckers are in their lower half and how they've just trained their entire life to have tree trunks and strong ankles and like, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of things where like Justin Fields has struggled to stay healthy as a quarterback.
If you choose to be a running back, you are mentally unstable.
Well, Chris Brazzell does suck. Thank you, Blake. In Terrell Pryor, the thing
Niners had one of their 30.
You don't want him. You know what? I would actually like that spot for him because it's Kyle Shanahan, but Chris Brazzell, his profile is it's just like all the other guys. Now he is freakier than the other guys, Jalen Hyatt, and I think we went through the list. Juwan Jennings is the best Tennessee receiver they've ever had. That is not a ringing endorsement because Juwan Jennings took 4 years to break out. It was a fourth-year breakout, fifth-year breakout.
An elite quarterback prospect coming into college too, and look at that. Like dude had to switch to receiver, and then was the best they had.
The idea of Brazzell is elite. Hey, the idea of Jalen Hyatt was also elite because Jalen Hyatt ran a 4.35 at 6'2", 6'3" mouth. He was a lot skinnier. Yes, he's just going to get overdrafted for me. If Chris Brazzell was a 4th-round pick, I'd love it. He's going to go in the 2nd round, and if the Bears take him, I'm going to be pissed. Although a landing spot, who's that?
I like Boston.
He's a very safe floor play. I feel like he's an NFL player. I don't know. I'm a little bit lower on him than consensus, but he's definitely an X receiver, and there's not many of those in this draft. He's huge.
Yeah, I like his. I think he's tough, man. I think he runs hard. I think he goes after the ball, like at the point of the catch. Like I like him, dude. He's one of the guys I really appreciate coming out. Ooh, I just saw someone's comment talking about Lemon. Man, that dude's a bum. I don't want Lemon. He's a lemon. Yeah, I'm not as high on him as most. I like some of the later guys, but question about Juwan Jennings. So I know he's not going to come back to your team, the Niners, but like, what's going on with Juwan Jennings? Does this have a lot to do with like the on the field antics? A lot of these guys have off the field stuff, which is problematic. Like Juwan Jennings, I know as a fan of the Niners, it's probably not as big of a deal for you because he's on your team, but the grabbing guys' dicks and shit, like talking shit in the field, like he's a problem on the field. And no, I don't think that has anything to do with it at this point. I think it's just literally his production, man. The guy is so hit or miss, and it's very specific circumstances when the play call is really set up to open him up is when he's there. Like, oh, you made the catch on 3rd down when you were supposed to, and you were wide open and everything was schemed for you. That entire formation in that play call was set up for you to be open. Good job. You caught the ball when you were open. Like, people don't give a shit about that in the NFL. And his ass is like, I need 20 million plus a year. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. No. I didn't want Jennings for the money that he wanted. I didn't want him for 15, dude. I was more than happy to let his ass walk.
Well, the disconnect is the reports are he wants 20 million. And also, like, he was marred by injuries last year, not just like it was like 4 injuries. It was like ribs, ankle, knee, hamstring. Like it was all body.
I'd have rather brought Kendrick Bourne back than Juwan Jennings personally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like Kendrick Bourne. PZ, Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver 1. Jeffrey thinks Mekhi Lemon's the best receiver in the draft. I don't have my official rankings. I obviously like everyone better than Cardinal Tate. That is my lemon of the draft, if it makes sense. He's a lemon. But I prefer Concepcion over Lemon. I think Lemon's a really good floor player. I think we're all getting enamored with St. Brown and the USC ties. And like, and the crazy thing is St. Brown was a 5th-round pick. And now it's gone the other way where it's like, well, St. Brown did it. They're similar players. Like he's a surefire top 10 pick. He's small. And
KC's been tied to the Niners a lot, dude. I've heard a lot of talk about KC to the Niners at 27. And
he ain't gonna make it that far, brother.
I have no idea. I don't live and breathe college no
He's
more.
screaming. He's screaming up. He'll probably go like I guarantee you he goes top 20. That's a bet I want to make if when they drop his line. And I've been like saying he's going to go to the Dolphins for a while now. I think the Dolphins, that's a perfect fit because they have to replace both Tyreek Hill and Tyreek. Well, it'd be good for him for fantasy though. You know what I mean? Because you have no one there.
60% of their money is fucking dead money. You don't even have half of the money the whole rest of the league has to spend on a team or a roster this year. Dude, they're hot garbage.
It's a money issue like Tyreek. We were talking about Juwan Jennings, yeah, because he wants $20 million. I think he's more of like a $12 million player, or a really short contract. He wants both. He wants like 20 for like he wants like 4 years, 80 million. Like he should get that if you think about what some of the other guys had made. You know, Alec Pierce, Alec Pierce is an ascending player. Juwan Jennings is a descending player.
I think the Niners were like 4 for 60 is what they were talking about with him, dude. And he said, no, I'm going to go test the market. And now I'm like, fucking congrats.
That's a Le'Veon Bell move. Like, just take the money, brother. Like, take the money. Mal says, by the way, Tyreek to the Giants. Heard it here. It was reported on Fireside Giants podcast. They are close to a deal. Mouth has been saying Tyreek to the Giants since the end of February. So I got to shout out Mouth for sticking. You know, he was saying this way before anyone, and then in turn I was saying it because I heard it from him. So I feel like I'm smarter now. But that makes a lot of sense. They need a guy like that because that would make Malik Neighbors' job so easy.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I
need
mean?
somebody opposite of Neighbors, man, and losing Wandale doesn't help, and they got nobody else there at receiver. I'm with you.
100%. And got a shout out Miles South. He just got done recording 2 shows. They do one show a week usually. They're doing 2 shows this week. NBA playoffs is kicking off. We got some thunder in the background. Might have a tornado here, so we'll see if we can continue the show. We're gonna stay on as long as the internet allows it.
Brother. My family might come down and join me.
Anyway, shout out to Downtown Sports, guys. Link in the description for that. 23 platforms. They're now on YouTube. So just search Downtown Sports. There's like 4 different Downtown Sports, but it's the good one. I'll say that. They've had Ian Eagle on their show. Yeah, I got you. Downtown Sports. They talk more real life sports than fantasy, but Mouth knows his shit. He's been on this program many times. You're also going to see Mouth South in the program tomorrow night, guys. We are talking running backs. We're going to go through Mouth's top 10 running backs ranks. We've done quarterbacks. We've done tight ends. So we're doing running backs this week and wide receivers next week. So tune into that show tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central. But also, please check out Downtown Sports. Where sports comes home. You can't go wrong. Great program. Great guys. And we appreciate their support. So I want to, get you guys watching their show and just give it a listen, and you will you'll keep on tuning back in like I do. I watch a lot of stuff, but I find time to listen to Mouth's show up there with Matt Harmon because Mouth knows fucking ball. So anyways, he's taking a little pee-pee. Jeffrey says he seems like a Steeler player. I figured the Steelers would be all over Juwan Jennings. They all play dirty. That is a Steelers player. But I think when they made the deal with Michael Pittman, like that would be the Juwan Jennings role. So like you also don't want 2 slow receivers in Jennings and Pittman. And like the money doesn't work either. They could draft somebody. They have enough weapons now with their tight ends, and they might take a day 2 receiver. But I don't know where Juwan Jennings is going to go. I mean, he could still go to the Commanders. That could be a spot. Maybe a team like the Panthers might want to get a veteran in there to play with Bryce Young. We got Big Ray in the chat. That's what's going on. Big Ray says hello. There he is.
Big Ray, body with a body. What up?
How you doing, buddy? He does have a body. Number is about 12 million for Tyreek Hill. It's probably a 1-year prove it deal. Everyone wins there. And, Jackson Dart isn't the most polished quarterback, and he's still really young, erratic. He has a huge arm, and he extends the play. So those are 2 things that Tyreek Hill can thrive in. And where you're getting him in best ball right now is free. It's literally 15th round. But this would be more of a good real-life fit than fantasy fit. I could see the appeal for fantasy as well, but this is just about, like, him being a big part in almost not a sacrificial X receiver for Jackson Dart and the Giants, but a guy that just can take the top off the defense you have to account for. And like, it's just going to allow Isaiah Likely to just have all those underneath routes And then you're going to have Malik Neighbors just lining up all over the field, which I absolutely love for fantasy. And I'm all about Malik Neighbors. As long as I can get a positive report on Malik Neighbors, like you said about the Kittle report, about him going to training camp.
Mhm.
Because think about this. You're trying to say that George Kittle might play week 2, week 3. And he tore his Achilles in the NFL playoffs. Malik Neighbors tore his ACL, and it was a pretty nasty one, but it was like week 5. Like, that's so far before, and he's so much younger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he should be fine.
So far, dude. He should.
Yeah.
We talking about the Giants, brother. We got to transition into our over-unders. And spoiler alert, I think the Giants go under 7.5 this year.
You're going under.
I'm going under 7.5. I don't think they double their win total from last year. I don't think they've done enough, and I don't think Harbaugh is